When the Philistine giant Goliath cursed God's people and challenged them to battle, David had no sword, no shield, no armor. He had never even been in a battle before. But one thing was clear to David: God was on his side, and he needed to defend God's honor.
The Elah Valley sits in the middle of Israel in a hilly part of the country. Today it's a quiet place and the land is used for farming. But in the time of the United Kingdom, this area was the front line of many battles between Israel and its frequent enemy, the Philistines. In 1 Samuel 17, we read about one of those battles, and the story even gives us details about where the Philistines and the Israelites were camped. We read in verse 3 that the Philistines would line up on the mountain on one side, and the Israelites would line up on the mountain on the other side, with the Valley of Elah between them. You can see the layout of the valley just as the Bible describes it. And look right here, there's even a dried creek bed. Do you think this is where David picked up his 5 smooth stones? Goliath would come out each day and insult the Israelites, challenging anyone who would dare to fight him. Goliath was big, really big. The Bible says he stood about 9 feet tall. No one wanted to fight him. But then David came along. He was surprised no one had answered the challenge and was upset that Goliath was allowed to continue making fun of God and the Israelites. David stepped up to the challenge and stepped out into the valley to face the giant.
How would you feel stepping onto that field? Would you be scared? I know that I would be. What do you think made David so brave? He was brave because he knew God was stronger. He knew God could take down this giant. He was also brave because he didn't want the name of God dishonored.
When David faced Goliath, he said something really powerful and really brave. David said, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin. But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand."
David ran out to meet the enemy, and with God's help, he killed Goliath, and Israel won a great battle. David was not okay with Goliath speaking bad about God or God's people. Like David, we need to be willing to defend God's name today. Some people will tell you that the Bible isn't true, that God isn't real, or that God isn't good. We need to be like David. We need to be brave and to stand up for God and His true word. With God's help, we can encourage God's people to be brave, and we can honor God even if others around us won't.